to the balloon? Is it going to get bigger or smaller? Smaller. Is there any doubt? No. And notice we're using, because P equals nRT is true, if I put this balloon into the freezer, it's going to shrivel. We have no doubts about that. Does everybody understand that? And so that would be deductive, because we went from. Does everybody understand that? So to a scientific law is inductive, and from a scientific law is deductive. Now, a lot of times people have a hard time figuring out whether it's from or to. So here's the easy trick, okay? To a scientific law, the law is the conclusion, right? So if it says, and therefore, and then it says such and such law, it's inductive. From a scientific law, the law, whatever it might be, is used as a premise. So find the law and see if that's what's being concluded, in which case it's to a scientific law, which makes it inductive, or if it's used as a premise, that's from a scientific law, which means it is deductive. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So for example, Newton's second law of motion is force equals mass times acceleration. And so that's premise one. 2, rifle bullets A and B have identical shape, sizes, and muzzle velocities. Bullet A has more mass than B, hence bullet A will hit with more force than bullet B at a given distance. Well, we're certain of that, and notice that the law was stated as a premise, so that's from a scientific law, it would be deductive. Does everybody understand that? Any questions about any of this? Okay. Look, you can read this section 10 if you want to. It's again about the distinction between inductive and deductive. I said some people focus on the intent, which is a mistake. And if you are a psychology student, you'll often hear they'll make a distinction between inductive and deductive argument types, but the way that they distinguish them is not right. It's generally true, but it's not right. So if you're in psychology, read section 10 to see how they define and why it's not exactly right. Everybody understand that? It's usually, what do they say? Deductive arguments are said to move from a general claim to a specific claim, right? Or specific claims to general claims is the other, right? That doesn't work for all cases. We can provide plenty of counterexamples to that. Does everybody understand? Okay, so we've completed the content, so I want you to complete quiz 1, which is now available, right? You can now see it. It was hidden before, and then use that link to upload it. It will be due by Wednesday night. I'm going to send out a notice so that everybody gets it by 9 o'clock. Okay, so that I can grade it, and Thursday we can come back and go over things, right? Okay, but for now, we need to practice on the content of chapter 1. So now I'm going to the homework for chapter 1 in the back, and we're going to go through this together and make sure that we are on the same page. There's like a 2-page review of the chapter, and then there's 1.1. I think we did 1.1 already together, did we not?
We did the off.
Okay. Any questions about the ones we didn't cover? 1.1? Everybody pretty good about that? And so 1.1, argument, non-argument, that's going to be on the quiz, that's going to be on the test. So this is one of the skills that you need to be solid on, the difference between argument and non-argument, okay? And also, if it's not an argument, you need to be able to tell me what kind of non-argument it is, and if it's an argument, you need to be able to identify the proper conclusions. Everybody got that? And the non-argument types that we had were, it's just a conditional statement by itself, or it's an explanation of a commonly accepted claim, or it's a report of an argument, not an argument proper, but a report, or no particular claim is supported by evidence. So there's a bunch of claims, but nothing is supposed to be true in light of the other claims. Does everybody understand that? Nothing is offered as evidence for any of the other claims. Okay. All right, so we did 1.1. So 1.2. Now, this is not going to be on the quiz or the test. And I just want to show you in general how you can complete all of this with ease, okay? All of these passages, if you pay your taxes, then you'll receive a nasty penalty. If you don't, if you pay your taxes late, you will receive a nasty penalty, and you're supposed to turn that into an argument. Well, you might say, you pay your taxes late, therefore you will receive a nasty penalty, okay? Or you could have done this, you could have said premise 2 is you didn't receive a nasty penalty, therefore you didn't pay your taxes late, okay? So in general, it works like this. You have a conditional, if A, then B, okay? And so you can make a complete argument by saying A, therefore B, right? So whatever A happens to be, you state it as true. This is if A, then B. This says, but A is true, and you get therefore what? B. That's one way to do all those. Or you could do this, if A, then B. So we start out with the conditional again. Not B, therefore not A. Okay? So you look at that conditional, and either you affirm the antecedent, remember conditionals, the if part is antecedent, the then part is a consequent. So if you have a conditional, you can either affirm the antecedent and conclude the consequent, or you can deny the consequent and conclude the denial of the antecedent. Okay? Just like that. Some people had questions about number 3. Was number 3 goofy for you? Yeah, because technically what you would need to say is 2, I am you, and therefore I wouldn't park my car there, which is kind of odd. But we say things like, if I were you, I wouldn't park your car there, right? If we were trying to be more precise, we'd have to use this convoluted language, right? Okay. So 4, if the demand for gasoline is up, then the prices will go up. You could have either said the demand for gasoline is up, therefore the prices will go up, or you could have said the prices are not going up, therefore the demand for gasoline is not up. Does everybody understand that? Okay. But I want to now look at 1.3. Okay. I made a big deal about indicator words because they can help you identify the fact that you're dealing with an argument, and the words can tell you the relative location of the evidence, the premises, and the conclusion, okay? And so in this exercise, you fill in the blanks with P for this is where the evidence would go, this is where a premise would be, Or C, this is where the conclusion would be, okay? So we're gonna go around and you're gonna help me figure these out. And so you're gonna fill in the blanks with either a P or a C. And what's your name over here?
Kai.
Kai. So number one says blank, blank, consequently blank. How would you fill in those blanks?
P, consequently C.
Perfect, right? And number two, blank because blank. What's your name? Next.
From C.
So what about number two?
I don't have the
Book.
book yet. We can
Okay.
do it today.
So it'd be C because P. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Number three in the back, blank, so blank. Don't have the book, someone help us out.
C, so C.
P, so C.
P, so C. Yeah, you had conclusion, so conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, P, so C. Number four says blank in as much as blank and blank. Your name?
Anna.
Anna, what do you say about four?
C in as much as P.
Correct. Okay. Five, from blank we may conclude blank. Well, this is an easy one. What's the name?
Tori.
Tori? What do you say?
From P, we may conclude C.
Yeah, that we may conclude. Okay, and number six, is it Israel?
Yes, sir.
Blank in that blank.
P, that, C.
It's the other way around.
Okay.
C in that. Substitute in, if you're not sure about things, think about the words that are there and then like substitute in an equivalent thing. And if you, in that, you might substitute because. And then because is much more a clear premise indicator. Does everybody understand that? And that would help us get that one. Next, number six, blank in that blank. Name?
Ava.
Ava, what do you think about six?
I don't just did that.
Who's it?
C
Oh,
and
yeah, seven, I mean.
yeah, I'm confused on 7.
Blank, blank, and blank imply that.